What up, though? Oh, damn, this shit mad bright, bruh. Hey, look, alright. As you can tell, I'm not at the crib, out here on vacation, you dig? But I had to go ahead and do a little something. I'm always going to consistently do streams and such. And while we wait for people to come up in the room, let's go ahead and talk like let's go ahead and talk about something like we always do. You feel me? Because recently I've been watching a bunch of WWE recently. Like, I'm not a WWE fan. Like, I fell out of the whole wrestling thing when the Attitude Era was coming to an end. Like, my favorite wrestlers from way back in the day, starting was Bret the Hitman Hart. Then I liked Triple H for a while, man. But then as I grew older, I realized that I honestly like The Rock more than I like Triple H. It's just that my brother's favorite wrestler was The Rock. So therefore I had to go against him at all times. You feel me? But so I just randomly just started watching WWE again, just seeing if there was anything worth watching over the last 20 years or so, man. And I came across CM Punk. Like, honestly, I've seen him on the video games and I saw how he wrestled and stuff. I'm like, okay, this guy's not that good. But yet, as I watched CM Punk and his interviews and things that he was saying, he was kicking some real top, man. And this was maybe, as everybody else was saying, like this was the best post Attitude Era wrestler that there was and such, man. And I completely understand it. And there was something in particular that I wanted to talk about here. And that's when CM Punk got the belt and left the WWE pretty much. And before he did that, he said something really specific that is associable to everything in life. You feel me? Especially the rap game. Because what he said was he's about to leave the WWE and he will still be him. He'll still put up the numbers. He'll still do whatever he want to do, but he'll go back to the indies to do it. He'll go to New Japan Pro Wrestling and do it. And which that's somewhat where the future of the game went. You feel me? Because right now, people saying that Kenny Omega is the biggest wrestler out there right now, and he's in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like, everybody is finding success based off of their own individual skill set, their own individual name and buzz that they build up, and then they're jumping from company to company. They're taking the power away from the WWE, who holds all the power since WCW fell apart, and they're making their own living based off of that. Like, independent wrestlers will go to these promoters and stuff and go win the title and not even be signed to them. You feel me? And that's really like them taking the power back from the companies. And that's important for when it comes to the rap game, man. Because for a long time, this is what has been needed to happen. Individuals build their own buzz, and you only deal with these major companies when you absolutely have to. When they gonna pay you the money, when they gonna promote you, when they gonna do everything that they supposed to do because you already built your foundation and your audience is going to follow you no matter where you go. Because in wrestling, people just like to watch wrestling for the most part. I mean, sure, WWE still pulls in multi-million watches a week on weekly television, and the pay-per-views are probably doing way better. But yet, there's a good grassroots amount of people who just like to watch wrestling for wrestling, who like to go out there and peep somebody who doesn't even have a big name or anything, and they just see that he's a good wrestler, that he's good on the microphone. He just doesn't have the promotional push, and they support that individual no matter which brand of wrestling they're on, whether they're changing sides from NXT to the main roster of WWE to the New Japan Pro Wrestling and all of that stuff, man. And this is where it needs to be with the rap game, which is what kills me. Like, it's sadly, most people don't care about rap as much as they do about pro wrestling, which is I mean, it is what it is. Everybody likes whatever they want to like, but the realities of it is most people only listen to rap music because it's the popular thing. It's all what the little kids are dancing to and all of this stuff. It's whatever the corporations and stuff are promoting. That's the only reason why they listen to music instead of actually liking music, actually seeking out independent underground acts and following them, no matter if they're signed to Def Jam, no matter if they're signed to Universal, no matter who they signed to, they're following this individual. But yet, sadly, a lot of these people, when they get put on in the game and then they fall off, or you don't see them like that no more, then they go somewhere else. They just wait on the next act to just get put on. You feel me? Instead of following your individual persona, your individual artist that you like the most, and supporting them as they go. Now, we do see it a bit, but it's not as prevalent. It's not as beneficial out there. Like when you see Mob Deep in them, who before Prodigy died, they did they did a crowdsourcing album, and they got paid all the way through for the crowdsourcing album. And they went out ahead and made that album and pushed it directly to the people. No labels or anything like that. There needs to be more of that when dealing with the legends of the game who ain't getting no promotion and all of that stuff. One. And two, the independent people who are building up a name for themselves that's trying to do some stuff. What up, hella bands? Nah, I ain't watched the VMAs, man. I never watched that crap. To be real with you, I kind of want to go back and see who won and all of that stuff just to know what happened. But I I stopped watching award shows when 3 6 Mafia won the Oscars, and that was because I figured there was going to be no topping this. Like, because they were just so savage when they won those awards and stuff, and they said whatever was on their mind. And I figured these corporations will never allow that to happen again. And two, I'm still focused on me getting to a point where people will recognize me for awards and stuff. So I'm not going to sit up and watch other people succeed all like that. Not on no haterism or anything like that. It's more of I got to be on my grind to get up there, and I can't be on my grind and watch y'all while y'all up there. You feel me? But back to the article where the indie rap scene needs to be like this indie wrestling scene where all of the fans need to be like it, where the fans will actually follow individual wrestlers who are good, but they just don't get the name recognition. They get treated like a jabroni and stuff like that in the majors of WWE. But yet the fans will stick around and go to other wrestling, other brands of wrestling in order to watch these individuals, and it's shape shifted the entire game, where an individual can go straight to WWE and win a belt and not even be signed to WWE. Just it was a cross promotion for that time, and they'll just do a few matches and then keep it moving and get their money wherever they can go out and get it. You feel me? And that definitely needs to happen more. Like, could you imagine in the rap game, rappers who they don't sign lengthy deals like that no more. They way too known for that. But this one album right here, we can do a joint venture for this. You could go ahead put up this amount of money to promote this particular album that I want. And after we chop up that money, I'm going ahead doing me. And I can come back to say Atlantic Records later if I got another project that I want promoted. But for the most part, nah, I'm making my money on the independent scene. I'm making my money wherever I can go, and we can only joint venture on particular acts, on particular albums and stuff. We're not going to joint venture for my entire career, or I'm not going to sign a 360 deal for my entire career. But that's definitely something that was on my man. As I'm sure, like people coming in, coming out, man. Hopefully, this light ain't messing with y'all, but it's really the best I got where I'm at right now. You feel me? But there's a bunch of things I definitely want to talk about today. You feel me? Because a lot of news been coming out and no songs really came out either. Like, did you guys know that Boss and J. Cole was supposed to come out with individual songs today, and still no show for it. And that's one of the reasons why I hate being like super up to date on all of the all of the new music and stuff that's coming out, because people tend to just break their promises, or things just never tend to happen. Like some things happen in the background, they can't clear a sample or something, so therefore the songs never come out, or they just take forever to drop the songs. Like it may come out at like midnight at the earliest in some cases. So I mean, with that being that, we're gonna focus more on the news and things that's been happening around in the music industry today. Well, okay, I guess the first thing, let's jump it off on a positive note, talking about Mike Will Made It and Slim Jimmy of Ray Shamard. They've had a it's like they've been putting up $10,000 for graduates of high school for like, and they're in the second year of doing this. Like last year they did it for 5 individual students, they put up 50,000, and this year they're doubling it, they're pretty much putting up 100,000, where they already did it. Like they already picked 10 students who graduated, and they said we're gonna give each of these students $10,000 to go to whatever college they want to, man. And it's like a nationwide thing. Actually, one person in particular is from Charlotte, North Carolina, as a sister, and I like that. Hey, much respect, because it's not that easy in most of the areas in North Carolina. You feel me? I don't know what part of North Carolina, I mean, what part of Charlotte or what school she came out of in Charlotte, man. But hopefully it was from like Dub C, West Charlotte, places that really need some financing, because the good students coming up out of the really ain't got much. That's just the real deal. So I just wanted to salute Mike Will Made It and Slim Jimmy of Ray Shamard for that one, man. Even though I'm not a fan, I show much love when people give out love, especially to our community out here, man. So that's what's up. That's really what's good. What else we gonna talk about? Did you guys hear that 24 of Prince's albums, which you should know, Prince has like hundreds of albums. It's just most of them you never heard and all of that stuff. But 24 of the most notable albums that he did come out with and such, they all have appeared up on the streaming services now. And I made a long rant about it a long time ago, when I deemed that Prince was murdered because of all of the things that was happening with his music rights. And I feel as though, as time has continued to go past, as the record labels have ended up scooping up all of these rights and started doing things that Prince never wanted to be done with his music forever, especially with it even going back into their hands and stuff, dude. Like, the fix seemed to have been in, but it's all been culminating to this. I say culminate, but it's all been coming to this point where they just got all of the music catalog, straight up took it straight out of the safe, out of the vault that he had, man. And now they're promoting it and pushing it on everything so they can maximize and get every single dollar up off of there. And it's a shame, man. This is how our legends go out, in not only just, well, in the music industry, not just in hip hop, because it happens in hip hop all the time. When you die, they going to take everything that you did and put it out, whether you wanted it put out or not. And they got the people so confused, and the people like, no, I wanted to hear every single song that this person did. Like, nah, if the individual artist didn't want his individual fan base to hear the music that he had, why should these corporations of people trying to maximize the money up off of them go out and do that? Like, how is that cool? How is that fair? And let's keep it 1,000 too. Most of the times, the money ain't even going to get circulated back to his family. It's definitely not getting circulated back to our community. Like, at the end of the day, they use our legends and take up every money, every bit of payment that they can get, every single dollar, they can bleed it all out of the music, and then they leave the family, they leave him, they leave everybody to the wayside as long as they get their profit. How is this cool? Like, it's past time that we take back what's ours, man, and support our own. Like, record labels don't do anything except for extort people for their money. Only thing that record labels do is they put up the money for mass promotion because they're sitting on all of the royalties and all of the money from all of the people that they stole before in the past. You feel me? They wouldn't have that kind of money if they didn't steal it from us. But yet they're able to front massive amounts of money. And because they're the record labels, they get cut deals from radio stations to distributors to everybody. They get the low while we pay the high. But everything, as I've said before, everything they do, we can do. So therefore, we need to take back what's ours and quit getting so focused in on the little bit of chump change that can be made here. Because independent artists make more money. It may not be a more amount of money. Like, independent artists may see millions of dollars, but they're not getting those millions of dollars. They're getting in the tens of thousands of dollars based off of tours. But you can make tens of thousands doing your own thing independently if you're hot enough, and you'll make more than that. You feel me? But yet you get that notoriety, you get that recognition, you get to look like you worth all of these multi millions and stuff. You did, and people need to get over that and go back to the indies and push them indies hard and make your own success from there. Just like I was talking about in the article about CM Punk seeing the future of what wrestling was. That's the future of what rap should have been a long time ago. And as long as you continue to allow these corporations to take full control of your catalog, take full control of everything you got, the more this is going to happen. You just die in mysterious fashions because you wanted your rights back. And then somehow they get to your family who should know better. And then once they get to your family, they get all of the rights, they get all of your rights, they get all of everything. They cut a little check that your family probably gonna blow through. And then pretty much they're eating forever off of everything that you did, and your people were down bad. What's another thing we need to talk about? Now, did you guys hear about Baby coming out talking about Lil Wayne, saying that Lil Wayne and his management team created a, what are they called? It's more of a scam, but it was like a shell company. They created a shell company to defraud cash money out of a third of the profits that Drake had, in which, if you look into the deal that Drake signed, it was supposed to be with Young Money, Cash Money, and a group called the Aspire Music Group, in which all three of them was supposed to chop up the net profits equally. But what Baby is saying is that this Aspire Music Group, they only dealt with Drake. They never signed another artist ever. And then the names that's within that company is too close to Lil Wayne. So therefore, what they decided to do is they created a shell company to get one third of the profits. Young Money was supposed to get one third of the profits, and Cash Money was supposed to get one third. So two thirds was going to Lil Wayne based on some cons. And ain't this the pot calling the kettle black? Like, of all of the negative things that we've heard about Baby over the years of how he's not paying nobody, you have the nerve to complain about anything that Little Wayne did? But I'm not saying that it's a good thing though. Like if this is what happened, then I feel Baby. But at the end of the day, I'll never side with Baby because he's a con man, maybe the biggest con man in the game. Well, he gets the recognition for being one of the biggest con men. Like these corporations, nobody questions them, but they'll always question Baby when Baby is doing nothing more or less than what these record labels are doing. But it is what it is. Now, this is an important thing to talk about because they're doing the whole the New Edition scam. That's all this is. For those of you who watched the New Edition movie that went down a while ago, like New Edition had a manager, a white dude. What up, Sean? Yeah, I really don't feel the VMAs myself either, brother. But yeah, if you guys remember the New Edition movie where they were signed to the white guy and then they went to the record label and they thought they were signed to the record label. So they came to the record label like, who's this name on top of the records? And the label was like, man, this is how the game is played. This guy ain't your manager. You're signed to him and he's signed to us. So you got to go through him. That's the same kind of thing that Lil Wayne may have quote unquote done here if he's actually guilty of this. Like the same tricks from previous years, man, it always comes back. New Edition movie sucks. But I don't think the New Edition movie sucked now. Like, I think they had the right actors. It was actually done pretty decently, man. It's just what do you expect from a BET movie? you can't expect any Oscar worthy material to come out of BET. But for what it was like the best BET movie I've ever seen in my life. Outside of them just replaying all of the classic movies and stuff like that's all that BET is really good for to me these days. Like with the actual Temptations movies and stuff like that. That'll be the only reasons why I'll sit up and watch BET these days. Especially since though I'm going back straight into I've always been on a straight up independent tip, so I don't need BET to give me any kind of entertainment unless it's like some big name stuff. That's the only reason why I'll go to that. But for the most part, I'm entertained by seeking out independent musicians and they videos and they shows and all the stuff that they do. But we have to learn from the past, man. Because how is it that people are getting the same con put on them in the 2000s that New Edition had back in the day? You feel me? They repackage it and make it seem like it's something different as time passes. But for the most part, it's always the same. It's always the same thing. Wayne Kiss, he got his nuts for sale before. You petty, Sean. you mad petty, bro. But I mean, it's stories like this though that come out that make you realize I really can't feel bad for Wayne when he was getting like in that when the Carter Five never would come out, when like he was getting held down, but yet I've consistently heard stories of how Little Wayne wasn't paying nobody, just like how Baby wasn't paying nobody. Like he learned all of his scandalous nature from Baby. I mean, if you're gonna sit up under a dude, as you say, Sean, kiss this dude and claim that he's your father and all of this stuff, and you're not gonna sit up and learn all of the dirty tricks of the trade that he's been doing and been getting away with for all this time, you're not gonna sit up and learn this. I feel you, Sean. Like he should have left when he had the chance. Like Wayne should have left. What up, Cedric? What's good, my dude? Wayne should have left when he had the chance. When he had Jay-Z calling. When he had all the labels coming at him because his deal was up, and he decided he wanted to be loyal to Cash Money. And that's another thing that we need to stop being. Stop being loyal to people who ain't loyal to you. Please. This is I tell my peoples this all the time. Stop being loyal to these people who are taking full advantage of you when it's a business transaction. Just because they the first people to actually help you and put you on and all of this stuff doesn't necessarily mean that they the ones who got your best interest in mind forever. Ray Charles saw that and he was blind, bruh. Ray Charles jumped shit from Atlanta as soon as that big money started calling and these people wasn't going to match it. He recognized these people was going to continue to take away all of the money that he was building, and they wasn't really doing much. He was the name brand. Even though they were like the family label Atlantic and they wanted to look out for him and all of that stuff, they wasn't like big time and they wasn't going to cut him the kind of check that he demanded. But so people really need to stop being loyal. Like Lil Wayne should have said, you know what? I still got love for you, Cash Money. This is where I built myself to being the biggest name in music right now, but I'm a cash in all the way. Like Lil Wayne is a great story of if you don't cash in when your name is hot and go do what you need to do, then how is you like this is how it ends. You feel me? It doesn't end on a good note ever for anybody. You either in it for way too long and people and you end up becoming the bad guy, or people just forget about you and don't really care about anything that you do. That's how this ends. So stop being loyal and taking like deductions of your cash. Like don't take these friendly deals with people because you want to be loyal to people. If they was truly loyal to you, bruh, then they would make you 50-50 partner. They'd pay you off top. They'll pay you whatever it is you demand. Like that's how your people supposed to be, right? Like I got people that I'm loyal to right now that I roll up on. I have rolled up on like, hey yo, my dude, I need $1,800 so I can make this move so that I can upgrade whatever it is I need to upgrade. My people will cut me that check. No questions asked. Like, sure they'll ask questions like, what exactly is it you trying to do? And if it makes sense, then they'll cut me that check. And then I'll be like, I got you. But if you go to a major record label, like, look, I need $2,000 to go out here promote my tour. Like, that's not part of your record deal. That's not good for you. We don't see that for you. We're gonna put you on the shelf. We're gonna do this. Like they won't come up off any paper. So why are you trying to be loyal to these people, Wayne? Or like how he's having this battle for what was supposed to be his 50% stake of Drake or whatever. Like if that was somebody who was truly loyal to him, they would have cut that check off top. And I know it's a lot of money, but like my loyalty to my people goes deeper than money. So I would cut that check if I was loyal to Wayne and he was loyal to me. So that's what Wayne should have did was, you know what? I recognize y'all ain't really got my best interest at heart at all times here. I'm still waiting on money that y'all should have been paid me and all of this stuff. So I'm gonna take my chance and ride out and be successful wherever it is I decide to go, whether it's with Jay-Z, whether it's going back independent. Like I said in the article, everything is going back to the article. Just like how CM Punk decided I can go back independent and find my own money and be successful, and how that's changed the whole landscape of wrestling to where it's at now. Same thing could have been happening with Wayne, but he decided to be loyal. Uh, you don't think Carter 5 and the Detox will ever come out? I think Carter 5 has I think they both are actually starting to come back. You feel me? Like, I think the Carter 5, since Wayne is quote unquote free, from what I've been hearing, like he's just been releasing new music and stuff consistently. So I see Carter 5 potentially coming before the Detox because Dre is back working on the Detox, but who knows how long that's going to take. Facts, Josh and Sean. CM Punk, man. Like as I said in the beginning of this joint, man, I I stopped watching wrestling before CM Punk. Like it was like the almost the end of the Attitude Era when I stopped watching wrestling. But yet recently, man, for just no reason, I just been seeing wrestling all over my YouTube timeline, and I just been watching a whole bunch of stuff. And bruh, CM Punk went in. Like his mic skill, like I don't necessarily like his wrestling skills though. Like some of his moves seem kind of ridiculous, but yet he talks that talk, bro. And it was like facts hitting when he hit John Cena with that you become everything that you hate. You've become the you think you the Boston Red Sox, but you become the New York Yankees. I'm like, bruh, he went in on that dude. And Cedric, yeah, we'll never see the Jay Electronica album. It's over for Jay Electronica. He got other things that he's focusing on crazy stuff right now. I don't want to call him crazy, but screw that Jay Electronica album. I feel you. Like, I mean, it's one thing waiting 10 years for Dr. Dre because Dr. Dre has proven to drop two classics. I'll wait on that. But you on your debut album, bro, you got the audacity to sit up and prolong it like you Dr. Dre, bro? You is not no Dr. Dre. You ain't never gonna be Dr. Dre. Man, Jay Electronica's album is never coming out, Josh. Never. He's the next pop. Ah, I don't know, man. Like, Jay Electronica got skills. I'm not gonna take that away from him. And he's one of the super complex individuals that you got to read into everything. Like you got to upgrade your knowledge in order to understand what he's talking about. And I feel that. But there's nothing that said that his debut album was going to be a classic. There was nothing that said that he was even going to turn out being a good rapper in the industry. And for him to prolong his album on some, yeah, I'm the greatest thing that's coming out, so people gonna wait, like, nah. uh Josh saying that I think he might be afraid that it might not live up to the hype. That could be true, but it Jay Electronica doesn't strike me as a person that's afraid of falling on his face with the music. You feel me? He more strikes me off as he more strikes me as an individual who is so focused trying to like get with the like because he's with the chick, right? He's trying to get with one of the Rothsteins or one of them like notorious families that got all of the old money from way back in the day. Like he strikes me as somebody who focuses heavily on whatever it is he's doing at the time, and there's no other room in his life for anything else. And right now, he's focusing on Rothsteins. And y'all talking about Lupe falling off? I mean, everything that has a beginning has an end, Neo. The Rothschild, yeah. But everything has a beginning, has an end, man. No matter how much you like an individual artist, no matter how great the person is, they will go through the ups and downs, and then they'll lose favor if they were in the mainstream media, and they'll lose their hunger. They like it's the natural evolution as an individual, man. You cannot remain as hungry as you are coming into music as it is when you are at the peak of it or like in the mix of it. You feel me? Like it's very difficult to do that because the thing that's driving you is the fact you ain't got nothing. But yet when you get something, it changes your whole persona. It changes who you are. It changes all of your ideas. It's like looking at Eminem. Eminem was once the best rapper out there in the game. And it's not like he lost his skill set. It's not like he lost his ability to rap. Now he's changed a whole bunch based off of, he had the drug thing happen and he reevaluated himself, and based off of that, he's never really been the same musically. But yet you can tell how he raps on songs like Rap God. He still has the ability to rap, but yet he's just not kicking out quality music like he used to. And it's because he ain't hungry no more. Just like 50 ain't hungry no more. Like when you lose that hunger, it is what it is. I mean, that's why this game is like an independent, like this, that's why this game is a young man's game. The young men who ain't got nothing, trying to establish themselves, they the ones who got that passion. And that passion is what you need to create those great hits, those great classics. So I'm not mad at Lupe for doing what everybody does in this game. Eventually, your success catches up to you. Damn, the chat is going ham, and it ain't. This thing is not keeping up. All right, there we go. Drake. Drake can't make a bad album. He still got his stream after all these years. Drake been made some bad albums now, but yet, I mean, his people were going to rock with him regardless. Your fan base is going to stick with you, whatever. But yet, he went through a while of some pretty bad projects, my dude. But I mean, Drake, he's somewhat, I'm not going to say pioneering, but yet Drake has gotten to the point where, okay, I'm going to get all of these writers up under me. I'm going to get all of these producers up under me. I'm going to get all of this, get all of these hungry people and take from them in order to remain relevant, which is genius. I mean, I'm not, everybody hates it. They say that he's a culture vulture and all of that stuff, man. I feel as though he's providing a good service. He's giving people money so they can succeed, and they're giving them, and they are giving him the hits that he needs to prolong. He's doing a good service by everybody involved. It's just people just get on that hater top. You feel me? But it is what it is. I'm okay with Drake doing that. But yet that's really what's been revitalizing a lot of these hits that he's been coming out with. But anyway, let's talk about the main subject of tonight. As you probably have seen through the title and all of this, man, we're gonna talk about Nicki Minaj on this being a hater right now. And I don't use that term lightly because I'm called a hater all the time from people who don't even know what a hater is. Like for me being a music reviewer, I have to be critical of individual things because what kind of credibility am I going to have as a music critic if I can't be critical about nothing? And I just tell you how I see it, but yet for the vast majority, 95% of people, I always got something positive to say. In fact, look back at all the red lights I gave this year, dude. All of them, I talked about specific songs that I did enjoy. That was all right. Like the latest one that I did was the Young Thug. I didn't feel like that Young Thug album was that good, but I did talk about a couple songs that I was like, yo, these is actually not that bad. So I used hater And I'm using hater in all of the sense of it. Like Nicki Minaj is being a straight up hater here because she's upset that her Queen was not the number one album, which I can understand that because as an artist, you want your stuff to always be the best. You always want to be number one. I respect that hunger. I respect that. But yet, when you go out of your way to throw shade at the individual who was the number one, instead of being happy for them, like that just goes to show you, okay, you got a whole lot of vitriol in your soul. And that's not cool. You can't throw salt because here's the real top. A number one album to Travis Scott means a lot more to Travis Scott than, say, a number one album to Nicki Minaj would mean to Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is well established out here. She been doing her thing. She's widely known as Nicki hating on Travis Scott's success. Yes, like Nicki is well renowned out here. Everybody knows Nicki, and she got the pop fan base. She got her Barbie fan base and all that stuff who throw shade on everybody at all costs for Nicki Minaj. She's good. Travis Scott is good too, but yet he ain't Nicki Minaj good. He could use a few more number one songs. He could use another push to catapult himself to superstardom, which is where Nicki Minaj is, whether you like her or not. You feel me? But so here's where the hate really comes into play. Because if you follow her Twitter, she started going in depth exactly the numbers in which Travis Scott got his album sales. Because Nicki Minaj is saying specifically, okay, she talked to him and he acknowledged that he doesn't have the number one album because he sold 50,000 worth of tour sales. And those get pretty much put onto the album sales. Even though his tour didn't have any set dates yet, his tour really didn't have much, but yet the people that bought the tour tickets, they counted that as album sales as well. And then on top of that, he sold $200,000 worth of clothes. Like Nicki Minaj is giving you the exact stats here, in which that $200,000 was also applied to the album sales, and then her album sales, and then his album sales on top of that is what pushed him over the top of Nicki Minaj. Now, I mean, Sean, oh, she, how, like, and that's the thing. Yes, Sean, she is bitter, but yet she crossed over into being a hater when she started talking specific stats, trying to discredit this dude's success all the way. Like, let's not front like Nicki Minaj, like Cash Money haven't been known to do the same. Like all record labels do this. Like whether it's inflating streams, whether it's using uh merchandise sales to go to album sales to inflate it, man. All of this stuff, like all of this has consistently happened, and I wouldn't be shocked if Cash Money did that to Nicki Minaj without Nicki Minaj actually knowing. You feel me? Like this is something that's consistent within the game. And for her to quote unquote dry snitch about Travis Scott, like that's throwing salt because you not number one, as Charlemagne the God had her on Donkey of the Day saying, celebrate the fact that you number two. It's like you guys remember the Austin Power movie? You'll always be number two. She's number two from the Austin Power movies, and she's super bitter and being a hater about it. Ah, but I mean, it is what it is, man. Like you gonna get it how you live. Like, and the music industry is a shady industry. They gonna take whatever advantages that they can to boost up anybody's numbers so that they can be bigger later, just like how they do in wrestling. Like when it comes to wrestling, it's all lies. They all just boosting themselves up and all of that stuff, dude. Like how people will come into wrestling and they'll debut or something and they have to beat up a jabroni or two in order for people to realize, okay, this guy ain't no joke. You feel me? That's all the same thing that these uh what a DNTFKN. She just a weirdo. I don't think Nicki is a weirdo. I think she's just being a hater. But yet, record labels act like these wrestling promoters because they inflate your numbers and make it seem like you winning when you really ain't winning like that in the public yet. But yet they do that so that you can have a better career as you go. MKK88 saying Tiger really made a comeback. Tiger made a comeback? Oh, like I've been seeing Tiger songs and stuff, but I ain't gonna say that he made a comeback. Like Tiger will never be as big as when he came out with Rack City. And I mean, honestly, he needs to be. He's got good albums. He just takes L all the time. Oh, I don't know, bro. Tiger Tiger should have, like, I'm not, I said this before. I'm not trying to say people should quit the rap game or anything like that, but yet he should have reinvested and have his own other stuff on the side to the point that he shouldn't have to keep coming back to making songs and stuff. Like, because the only things that I've seen Tiger actually like do like that was he was like the face of Foot Locker commercials for a while. Then he was messing with one of them Kardashians or whatever, and that was how he was getting his bread and all. Well, not how he's getting his bread, but yet that's how he remained notable and all that stuff. He should have jumped straight into uh all of those TV shows and stuff like that, man, when he had the chance. But now him trying to come back to music, man, it feels like desperation to me. But yet I need to go back and listen to the songs. I don't know. It is what it is. But I'm just saying he should be in the business, whether the music business or try to pull like a chameleonaire with the money that he got out of the music business and then go and try to here come this boy. Okay. What up, boy? What are you doing? I'm streaming, man. You gonna be loud? You can't be loud. I'm gonna need you to be quiet. You wanna say what's up to the people? Say what's up to the people, Santino. Look. Hey. Look, you look, here go the camera right here. Look. Hey. That's what's up. You gonna be good, man. Where? You could be over there. Just be quiet, okay? Okay. Tiger has the hits, but he's always switching up his style, looking out of place, seeming like he tries too hard sometimes. I don't know. I mean, I hear that Tiger got some love out there on the West Coast. I don't know. I'm just not a big Tiger person. I've never been a big Tiger fan. You feel me? But who all here really don't believe Nicki Minaj is being a hater? Especially like because when I can see being bitter that somebody else is shining over you, and that may feel like you taking an L and all of that, but to actually try to delve into this person's stats and show it off to the world, saying that I'm the real number one, like that's being a hater, dude. Like that's something that I would never do. I'm from LA and I ain't feeling tired. But he has the radio politics on lock. Really? Tiger got the radio like that out there? That's what's up. I mean, and that's one thing that you got to have too. Like on the real though, like I don't see how these big known acts don't ever have that, especially when they begin to fall off and all of that stuff. Like when you look at 50 Cent, who's obviously not the same of who he was, but yet 50 was one of the biggest acts in the music. He was the biggest act in the music industry. How did he not build relationships with people who were spinning records back then and that's still not carrying you over to now? You feel me? Like he should still be in communication with people or the predecessors or whoever they put on. You feel me? Like he should have built up that relationship that no matter what he did, they would still show love to him. Maybe 50 is a bad example because he's that kind of petty individual who's going to turn his back and throw shade on everybody at every turn, and people want to see his downfall because of this all the time. Maybe he's a bad example, but yet I can't like yes, these labels pay for whatever gets played on the air. It is what it is. We all know this. But yet these super notable acts that had a lot of money, how did you mess that up when you could have built your own relationship and built your own empire and built your own label when you had the chance? Like, and I mean, maybe it all goes back to the fact that nobody really got money. That might be the hole in my logic right here. Because for as long as the music industry has been going, they've never had the money to buy off these people. They've had Cadillacs. That's one thing I probably would have did though. Like if the label gonna give me a Cadillac for my hit songs and all of this stuff, and they not gonna pay me, like all right, I'm gonna pawn off this Cadillac, either pawn it for cash or give it directly to these radio stations of my home base that I know I'm eventually gonna have to come back to. Give that to them. Like, look out for me when I need you. Here's the keys. And from there, you build your own. Like that's the thing, man. These major label artists and stuff, they're never focused in on building their own. They're focused in on capitalizing off of what fame they got and what new records they're going to do and all of this stuff, being the good company man and all of that. But yet they have everything at their fingertips to create their own and do their own thing and be direct competitors when the record labels decide to throw them away. They have every opportunity to do that, but they choose not to because they want to be the good slave, want to tap dance for Massa for as long as they can. So when Massa throws them away, they just down bad for no reason. Let's see what this chapter. Just bad timing for her to release her album. I don't think it's bad timing for Nicki Minaj to release a Nicki Minaj album, bruh. Nicki Minaj should be able to release whenever she wants to release. She got that kind of audience. She got that kind of following. She's that big in all of the world that the world is supposed to stop when she decides to drop an album. Like people are supposed to like push the albums back when Nicki Minaj decides I'm going to drop at this time. And that's something that's what's unique about this whole situation. Because I mean Nicki is right. I'm not saying that she's wrong when she's calling out all of these things that they did to help Travis Scott. Like it is what it is, but that's how they play the game. And it ain't like Nicki Minaj's people ain't played the game that raw before either. But for her to throw shade because she on the opposite end of it, that's some haterism, bruh. But real talk, she should be number one whenever she releases. That's just she's the main event at WrestleMania every year that she drops. You feel me? There's only but a handful of super main events when in the music industry. You got you got Drake when he decides to drop. You got Nicki Minaj. Uh Maybe The Weeknd has made it to main event status. Uh Man, I mean, there's a bunch of main eventers that's like outdated. It's like when Jay-Z drops an album. Jay-Z is like Hulk Hogan. Like, yeah, he's gonna be main event because of the body of work that he put out there consistently throughout the years and all of this stuff. Yes, this is true. But yet, you washed. Jay's been washed up for quite some time, but he's still gonna drop albums. He's still gonna be a main eventer, but he's washed up. Just like The Rock. Maybe The Rock is a better example. Like not Hulk Hogan. Jay-Z is like The Rock. Washed up, but yet whenever he pops up, he's gonna be there for WrestleMania. Even though the matches that he putting out and the all of the matchups and everything, man, it's not as entertaining anymore. But still The Rock. People remember The Rock for who he was, not who he is now. Just like people remember Jay-Z for who he was, not who he is now, literally. But, there's a bunch of intercontinental champions out there who's trying to become main eventers, like Logic. uh, you got a bunch of hardcore champions out there who trying to step it up to being world champions as well, like Freddie Gibbs. Oh, you got legendary tag teams out there, like the Locks and all of that, man. Who are, I guess they would be like the Legion of Doom or something like that. You got individuals who never really shined as the champion that they thought that they was supposed to be. Like you see Jadakiss, in which I guess you could look at Jadakiss like Chris Jericho or something like that. But I did hear that Chris Jericho ended up becoming the champ. Wow, Jadakiss, nah. Nikki is way better as a feature. They're all a good collection of people who are way better features than they are actual rappers. Like Fabulous's features that he has. He always goes for the kill, no matter who he's featured with. And it may have hurt him more because people really don't want to get ate up on their own stuff like that. But I would say Nicki just goes into a different direction when it comes to her albums. It's not like Nicki is trying to do rap albums and spitting bars and all of that stuff. Like she's more become the pop queen and all of that. She's changed her whole direction. So I wouldn't say that she's like better as a feature. She just goes in different directions with her albums than her actual features. Like she does more spitting when it comes to features. You feel me? While if you look at a guy like Fabulous, who spits on everything, who spits them bars consistently, you look at his albums, you see that he's a far better feature than he is an album rapper, far better mixtape rapper than an actual album rapper. But that goes along with the whole fact that you know record labels they put extras on things that you need to do. Like you have to sell to these crowds in order for you to get a commercial album. What up, World Ruler? I like the thumbnail too. Hey man, say what you will. Even though Nicki be on some haterisms and she be I mean, all of the hate that she be throwing to Meek Mill and all of this stuff, and then all this hate that she got towards Travis Scott stuff right now, she's still dope. Would I smash? Probably not. Nah, why lie? I probably would. And then I'll try to disappear off the map. And I'll just let her diss me all day. Like I wouldn't hit her back or nothing. I mean, you laugh. I'm being dead serious. I'm being dead serious. I would smash Nicki and then never call her again. I'd fake my death, bruh. I had my mom's call her up like, he had a traffic accident the other day. He'll never be able to come back. Like, in fact, I wouldn't even fake my death all the way. I'd be like in the hospital bed and pretend like I can't talk. Like he can heal you. He always loved you, Nicki. Like, I mean, because you know the slander is coming with Nicki. Like, you can't get away clean with a just hidden smash and dash from Nicki Minaj. You know she's gonna show her ass. So the only thing you can do to try to get away clean is fake your death, bro. I be right there. Like, in fact, you know how they be making all of the funeral home requests and all that stuff. How they get dudes posted up now, like standing and they dead and such. That's how I be. But I be alive. I be in the corner to just not move like this. uh, uh, how I feel about Chun Li. See, I like I like the vibe of Chun Li, and I knew Chun Li was going to be somewhat big because I'm a Street Fighter player actually. Like I main Sakura on Street Fighter 5 right now. And I knew based off the fact that all of her fans within Street Fighter started drawing her as Chun-Li and they actually put her and modded her into the game and all of that stuff. I knew it was going to be big, but I wasn't a fan of that song in particular. Like, I think I like the song with Lil Wayne way more than that one. You feel me? I'd rather smash the IG models before Nicki. I mean, that's one thing that I would like to take to my death though. I put that shit on my coffin. I put that shit on my headstone. Here lies Topaz Yates. Smashed Nicki once. You know, sometimes you gotta do stuff like I mean, just for the fact that you could take that to your grave when you get to the pearly gates, you can wrap it up with God and say, "Yo, what's up, man? You know I smashed Nicki, right?" And God splow you up like, "Yeah, I already know, man. I'm glad you did." Like, you feel me? Do I stream on Twitch? Nah, I don't. Like, honestly, I need to step my streaming game up, like from this laptop. Like, I got a camera and I got all of that stuff. I just need to figure out the right way to connect it to my PC so that I can stream not only video games, but I also want to stream these better. Like just the technical side of it, I need to work on. I'm gonna get there eventually. But if I do stream, it'll probably be Street Fighter or Marvel. Appreciate that, World Ruler. Come see your boy. Pour some liquor out for me. uh, but I'm dead ass though, man. I would definitely smash Nicki just for the bragging rights. Whether it was good or not, man, I'm going to pretend like it was the greatest sex in the world. Like I'm a stunt hard on dudes. Like yeah, yeah, yeah. Like yeah, y'all got all these chicks out here, but none of y'all smashed Nicki though. Yeah, that was me. Oh, oh, like I would get so petty to do a "I Hit It First" song. Like what was it? Was it Ray J who did "I Hit It First"? Knowing full well that like I came well after everybody else, but I still say I did it first. Oh, oh. But I mean, in all seriousness, there's there's a few like chicks out there in the game that I would smash right now, man. Even though I see a lot of them, their mentality ain't right, man. So I'll be smashing and dashing on all of them, bruh. Oh yeah, definitely not raw, brother. Definitely not raw. You never go wrong unless you're willing to go for the consequences, brother. Which consequences of could you seriously see you having a kid with Nicki Minaj and not ending up like either dying or you killing her? Like I really don't see any other logical outcome of having a kid with Nicki Minaj. Like because I'm not gonna let you safari me, bruh. Like you can pull that knife if you want. You come at me with a knife, I'm gonna come back at you with a gun. Why? Because I'm still laughing. Like, even though like some of you might not have been there for the live stream last week, as I had to delete it because like it was only the playback was only 7 minutes for some reason. Like YouTube, they've been messing up. But we was talking about all of that. Like, come on, bro. Like, you can't let Nicki Minaj punk you like that to the point that you going in to the police, lying to the police so she won't get in trouble, bruh. I'm like, if I'm not gonna go to the police and lie like, yeah, I tripped like a battered wife and all of that. Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm the one who's getting arrested. Like you pulled a knife on me, it's going down. And I know the police is gonna take your side, so I'm gonna do what I need to do. But there's no other logical outcome because one, if you have a kid with a, you're ultimately going to become the baby father because it's difficult to even listen to her speak on her podcast or whatever it is that she's doing now and her interviews. It's hard enough for me to sit up and watch her interviews and not be annoyed, and actually having to sit up and hear that every day. I don't care how bad you is, that whole fake sound, that how she talks so fake all the time, that just gets on my nerves to begin with. But then I don't like the things that she's talking about. Ah, like, I mean, I don't want to clown Safari. You feel me? I don't. But it's funny though. Oh, oh man. But I mean, at the end of the day, dude, nothing about Nicki Minaj I like. But yet, just me being a guy, I would smash. And if I mess around and have a kid with a, which I never would because I wouldn't hit it raw. Because I'm not hitting it for it to feel good. I'm hitting it to say that I'm hitting it. Because I mean, odds are a lot of these industry chicks are already ran through. So it's not so much about smashing to feel good, it's smashing because I'm finally getting it off my bucket list. I wanted to smash this chick. Much like Wiz with Amber Rose. You all knew that Amber Rose was just on his bucket list. Even no matter how much he wanted to say that he liked her and all of that stuff, man, he made the key mistake of having a kid. And that's the thing. That's maybe the greatest example of the whole thing. I would never be Wiz. Wiz is my cousin. In fact, I was invited to Wiz Khalifa and Amber Rose's wedding. I didn't go. I should have went, but I didn't go. Like, and why didn't I? Like, I didn't go because, like, you laugh, nigga. I'm being dead ass, but I didn't go because I'm like I'm so focused on I want to be as big as you are, cuz I'm not trying to be Wiz Khalifa's cousin. I want to step up to a point that I'm on your level where I can meet up with you. Like, what up, cuz? Last time I saw you, man, you came through to last time I saw him, he came through to Charlotte on the show, got me in there for the food, VIP, all of that stuff. But I wasn't gonna go like my grandma went. My grandma and my aunt went to Amber Rose and Wiz Khalifa's wedding. And they asked me if I wanted to go, and I'm like, man, I need to get to this dude's level, man. I can't be out here at his wedding. And plus, I don't really support it because I don't really like Amber Rose like that. And I don't want to be the dude to stand up. Like, do any of you like have anything against this holy matrimony? I don't want to be the one to stand up like me. I got some issues. I need to get off my chest. First, let me pull out my phone and show you the nude images of Amber Rose. Well before you got married to her. I cannot sit up and allow a cousin of mine to get with this. I'm sorry. I love you, Wiz. You're probably gonna kick me out, but I'm doing this for you. Maybe one day you'll look back and laugh at this. Maybe one day you'll sit back and call me like, you know what, you was real about it. But it is what it is. But no, I mean, he's my cousin, but he's not like a close cousin. Let me tell you why. He's a distant cousin that really I didn't like. See, I'm not the type of dude to one try to come up off like I'll pop up at family like, yo, fam, what up, cuz? You gonna put me on, right? I'm not that. One, I'll never do that. I'd rather get on my own accord and continue to build the way I need to build. But the reason why I'm not close to Wiz and his side of the family is ultimately he came to my side of the family looking for investors before he got put on, before the Prince of the City and all of that stuff here in Pittsburgh. Like, before he really took off like that, like, I actually knew his manager who, like, I did events with his manager actually, who started taking him to that upper plateau that started booking him for the biggest shows and all of that stuff. His name was Muhammad, in which I did shows with him where he used to do hip hop awards in random cities. And I showed up for the hip hop awards in Tampa and Orlando, the hip hop awards in I think he had hip hop awards in Charlotte too, in which I was there for all of that. But yet he came to the family looking for investors so he can get to that level where he's starting to build up the mass notoriety before the YouTube success and all that stuff. He came to the family, and my uncles and people who could have helped him out, they pretty much laughed at it. Like, nah, we ain't gonna give you no money. Ain't nobody from Pittsburgh ever gonna blow up. Real talk. That's what they was saying. That's what they said. Ain't nobody from Pittsburgh ever going to blow up. To the person who blew up out of Pittsburgh. My uncles. That I'm still close to these uncles. But That's why he's not close to my side of the family no more. And that's why I'm like, see, it saddens me, but at the end of the day, I still got my own path. I'm not tripping about it. I'll see him on top. Or I'll see him wherever I see him. He knows me. He sees my face through the shows and stuff that I pop up on. His sister is like one of my straight up cousins that come through for Thanksgiving and all of that stuff. And his mom's actually watched some of my stuff. So his mom's is mad cool. Peachy, I love Peachy. What up, Peachy, if you watching? So it is what it is. Like I'm cool with him. It's just it ain't like that deep to the point that he's gonna put me on and he's gonna look out for me and do anything like that. But that's cool. I don't really like I could use help, but I don't really need help. Like I'm gonna grind and I'm gonna find my own success. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. I got love for him regardless of like, cause I given him some bad reviews over the years. It's never been personal. I've always wanted to see him succeed. I always just, I'm critical. A critic gotta be critical. I separate myself, my personal life. I separate all of that stuff from the realities. But we on a 15-minute warning, brothers. So y'all got any questions before we get up out of here for the day? While y'all create y'all questions, I actually did want to tell you guys about because I like sometimes you guys send me questions about independent artists that you guys should go ahead and check out that I always like. Dante Credo just dropped a new mixtape. You're gonna have to check it out on the Spotify. I mean not excuse me. Not a Spotify on his SoundCloud. Got a couple dope joints up on it. Dante Credo, man, his last two joints have been fire. He's like one of these artists that's in one of the off-brand North Carolina, not Boone, not he's from Shelby. He's from Shelby, North Carolina. And his stuff is really good, man. Like you guys should definitely check him out. What reviews you got going up there? See, I make the reviews day of as soon as the new stuff comes out. Like I haven't been able to be like on point with it recently because I've been taking care of my nephew consistently. But there's a few things that I've been looking to that should come out eventually, like a new J. Cole song and a new Boss song, a bass, or however he pronounces his name. I always forget. But though they are supposed to be coming out with new songs today, actually. Now, if they do come out today, I probably won't get to it till tomorrow. But I want to get to those. I've been thinking about reviewing that Ariana Grande, but it's been a little long now. And I'm kind of cool on Ariana Grande right now. I don't know. I might, depending on how I feel, I might go back to it. Who else? That's pretty much all that I know of for now. But every day something new comes out. So whenever something new and dope comes out, you can usually count on me being up on it to possibly making a review for it. If multiple new dope things come out, odds are I'm just gonna try to pick the best one of them and keep it pushing. But other artists that you guys should definitely check out, man. They were on my they was on my freshman class. They was on my Steel City in the Basement. They was on all of this stuff, man. But Marvelous and Jim Star the Golden Child. Check those guys out, man. Like they're like that. Actually, I think I believe Marvelous has become a battle rapper where he's doing his thing. I mean, honestly, I feel as though he's a better rapper on albums and songs than he is actually on the battle scene, but yet he does his thing though. They both do their thing. What was the name of the particular mixtape? It was something luxury or something. I don't know. But check them out. They're super lyrical. Uh you on IG? Yeah, I'm on IG. It's I'm Topaz Yates on IG. I just haven't been on there in a while. I usually just post up like I do like mixologist type drinks and stuff. And I haven't been posting anything because my camera and my phone broke. How? I don't know. It's not like I dropped it and it stopped working. Like the screen of it just went blank. It faded to black straight up Jay-Z style. So I haven't been able to post anything. But as of recently, it started acting right again. Like now I just gotta like beat it upside the head a couple times and it'll pop up eventually. So I should be posting more drinks on IG and all that stuff in the future because I just got some Hennessy White from the Caribbean and stuff. And you know, everybody want to talk about how Henny White is so great and delicious. We can just drink it straight. Hennessy White tastes like Hennessy. It's like it's Hennessy light. It's like how what do they call Miller High Life? It's like Miller High Life to Biz, what Henny is to Henny White. You feel me? Oh, I just completely messed that up. But you get me though. But I should be posting more drinks when I get back from being out here. And I got another name for you guys to check out. You guys may have heard of this one. Her name is 3D Nati. She was actually on she made it onto the BET Awards one year. And she did her thing. She's super thick. She cute. I'd smash her well before Nicki Minaj. And she got the skills, and I don't think she would annoy me as bad. Honestly, I don't think 3D Nati would annoy me at all because I love just that hip hop about her. But she's dope. She got skills. She's definitely one you guys should definitely go out there and check out. 3D Nati does her thing. Ooh. But if we gonna talk something recent, like just well, no, that ain't even recent. There's another female rapper that she dropped some stuff. Well, see, here's the thing. Here's how I know that you're a good rapper. When you can do a brand of music that I don't necessarily like, but you make that joint dope. And there's a underground rapper chick named G.I. Peaches. If you guys heard of her, she's from I believe she's from Louisiana, and she definitely goes super ratchet, like all the way. Like all of her punchlines is talking about sex and all of that stuff. Yeah, yeah, Sean. 3D Nati is dope, but Gi Peaches, I've never seen her. I've never seen her face or anything like that. I just heard her music, and I heard how she be going in. And when she goes in and spits, she spits. Like I think she's worth a peep out too. But tell me, Sean, would you smash 3D Nati over Nicki Minaj all day? I guarantee you will. Yep, she is super ratchet. And I don't like ratchet music, bruh. Like, I can't stand the whole persona, the whole thought process behind the bars, and the things that they perceive as super dope bars. I don't like it, but yet she took that to a whole nother level, bruh. Like, you can't deny her. She just mad nice with it. And that's what I love when you can send me somebody with a brand of music that I really dislike and they make it dope. They all but pioneers in my eyes. I remember the first time I heard a good hyphy song. I couldn't believe what I was listening to, dude. Like hyphy was so garbage for years. And who was it? Somebody in particular, a specific name, he was underground at the time, did a hyphy song and made that joint go hard, bruh. Like I couldn't believe it. But that made me like a super fan at the time, but yet they didn't drop anything outside of that hyphy joint and made me forget who they was now. And that's one of the reasons why I feel as though it's super important to not throw shade on the new generations and stuff, even though we know uh the new generation music isn't really that good as it is right now. But it only takes that one person to figure out, okay, what's bad about this is there's no musicianship and these guys don't have any flow and they don't have no delivery. But what happens when a quality act like me does this type of music? Like that's all it takes. And they ultimately can become like pioneers of that brand. Yes, I'm sure there is great music for this new generation, bruh. I mean, yeah, I've come across it. A bunch of underground dudes who definitely deserve the time to shine, who definitely deserve their time. There's a lot of great music out there. But yet, like I said from the very beginning, we need the fans to be like the fans from the WWE, who's going to follow the wrestler no matter which wrestling brand that they're on, whether it's WWE, whether it's New Japan Pro Wrestling, whether it's no matter which one it is, because there's a lot of indies, there's a lot of lower level joints, there's a lot of stuff going on out there. But yet, fans of wrestling will follow a particular wrestler no matter where they go. And the rap fans need to be like that, man. You need to find your favorite rapper. If he goes back underground, follow him while he's on the underground. Help that man succeed. If he comes back to the labels and stuff, support that. If he goes to the indie labels, support that. We need that kind of fan base who's actually knowledgeable of the individual. You feel me? That'll actually follow the individual no matter where they go to help them. And I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, because when you see people like when you see the older acts and such using crowdfunding to source out the albums, and it works in some cases, other cases not so much. But when it worked out for, I think it worked out for the Locks. Like when you do that, you eliminate any use of record labels. We need a lot of that. And we can get out from under these labels and take back what's rightfully ours. But anyway, that's the end of today's show. We got to come up with a name for this show. I'm going to come up with one. It is what it is. But the Tuesday show, the Tuesday live streams, we done for the day. We're always streaming on Tuesdays. I'm trying to get it about 9 o'clock, but I'm always going to give you like a 15-minute warning or something like that. But every other weekday, we're doing we're doing reviews for whatever popular is out there, whether it's album, single, might just be, who knows, whatever's popping in the industry. Do a whole bunch of stuff on this channel, man. So go ahead, look out, subscribe if you haven't already. But I'm sure everybody who made it this far, you've been a subscriber for a minute. But I love y'all, man. We're going to get up. Talk to y'all later.